Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of No Dumb Idea. It's a little bit of a chiller, spookier kind of night. We're recording a little bit later than we usually do. We got Gibbledang here on the mic, 1, 2, followed by...
In this corner, weighing 195.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ, it's me, Jesus Christ. No, it's me, Dala. And actually, speaking of spookiness, we got ourselves a special guest, a good friend of ours. If you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, it's Jesus Christ.
I've risen, y'all. I've risen.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Nah, this is Spooky Goodnight, y'all. Or Spooky for short.
Yeah, our friend, longtime friend Spooky. Why don't you go and introduce yourself to us again, to listeners for the first time.
Hey, who are you?
Yeah, I'd consider myself like the king of California. I've been up and down.
Yeah, if you haven't heard of him, who the fuck are you?
I'm originally from the Central Valley. Just been out here in the Bay Area studying music, teaching music for the past 10 years, and just soaking up all that Bay Area culture. Originally, I'm from the Central Valley, which is a desert. And I'm really excited to be here today. I've always been into like counterculture, subcultures. I just really enjoy media.
Do you have a favorite? Top 10, go.
Especially like
top 10 medias, go.
What's your favorite
kind
what's
of
your favorite media?
Well, my favorite media would probably have to be movies, for sure. Film.
Sorry, the answer was Laserdisc.
Sorry, no, the answer was Laserdisc.
Laserdisc.
We were looking for Laserdisc.
Yo, I just saw a Laserdisc for the first time in Rasputin's. I never knew they were that big.
Yeah.
Well, did you take a picture of it?
Take a picture with it.
Whoa, look at this!
Exist,
Take a picture of me with the Laserdisc.
Yeah. Thumbs up. Look at my hand in comparison.
Look how old it is.
Also, this is just a side note. I mean, shit, Rasputin's just sells so much pornography.
Oh.
I don't know if you guys knew that. So much porn.
I knew they did.
It's really fun to go there on a date.
And look at porn.
And look at porn together. No joke. It was so nice.
Yeah, it's like, hey babe, you want to go to Rasputin's? Yeah, I love the music there. They have music?
Yeah. Is that
music? Yeah. Bruh, we went there looking for a copy of Blood In, Blood Out on DVD.
Oh, nice.
And we bought 4 porn.
You bought the porn version? Dick in, dick out.
Dick in, dick out. Yeah.
Sick shit. Yeah. But yeah, shit. No, Rasputin's love that place. I feel like I go there and I end up like leaving with like a stack of like Blu-rays or a stack of like CDs. I've been getting into vinyl lately too, so that's one thing I've been kind of, which is
so
bad for me. Just more shit I don't need.
A coworker of mine was telling me the history behind Rasputin's. And if you're a non-Californian listener, basically Rasputin's is like this crazy music store with DVDs, maybe some video games, bunch of vintage stuff, really popular.
Vintage, Jesus, you can sound older.
And I know at this point, right?
Yeah.
Very similarly, there's also a record store, exact same kind of deal, called Amoeba, and they both started out in the Bay Area. Amoeba blew up way more than Rasputin's, but what I found out was that the original like workers from Rasputin's were being treated like shit, and they're just like, oh, let's buy out a bunch of the stock and go start our own fucking record store, which ended up being Amoeba.
It ended up being Best Buy.
Now Amoeba's ended up being Best Buy.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
I think I remember hearing that.
So now Amoeba's like way bigger.
You know what? Rasputin does have a much more like oppressive vibe, just in general.
I will say, because
Amoeba's a lot more like fun.
Yeah.
They also do concerts. Like Metallica played at
Amoeba,
the UC or the Berkeley Amoeba. Yeah, I think they do like annual concerts.
I find when I go, because like there's a Rasputin's and Amoeba in Berkeley, and they're literally like across the street, and like Amoeba's usually a bit better in my opinion. Rasputin's solid for what sometimes it's just like basically if they don't have it at Amoeba, I want to check out a Rasputin or just some go look at porn, I guess.
Alrighty, Spooky. So, why don't you tell us how your week has been going?
My week has been a little traumatic in all fronts. but I'm here thriving. It's been kind of traumatic socially and environmentally, but I had a pretty good day of teaching guitar and teaching general music to a bunch of little kiddos, and actually this weekend I saw Species for the first time.
Hell yeah.
And right after watching Species, I immediately thought to text Dala because it looked right up his alley.
Oh yeah.
And then I saw the end credits, and then I see that it's an H.R. Geiger movie, or it's the creature from Species is based on designs from H.R. Geiger. I don't know if it's like a previous design and they use it for the movie, or there was like direct collaboration. But I was like, whoa! Like I feel like if Dala hasn't seen this,
which I have,
you should get on it because it's so good. It's the creature design's so great. I'm a big fan of like women's sexuality being like weaponized to kill people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And like that's what that movie's about.
It's cool.
Teeth. Have you seen the movie
so
Teeth?
Good.
I won't spoil anything
Teeth?
for you.
I've seen Teeth a long time ago. It used to be it used to come up a lot like on IFC. Like there was that like movie channel. It would show up a lot of the times. It was like I'd watch that a lot, and then I'd watch May a lot, but I don't really remember Teeth very often. I remember the pivotal scene, like at the end, the climax, but I don't really remember so much of that movie, like what goes on before. But it was always growing up that in like the movie May. I don't know if you guys have seen May, but
they should make Teeth 2.
Teeth 2?
What,
yeah,
like
Teeth
the back?
2, but it's a butthole.
Yeah.
Teeth.
Butthole.
Yeah.
It's a gay guy this time or something. I don't know.
It's a gay guy. Wait, I feel like I've heard this joke before. It's low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, Species is
Teeth
great.
2,
I
but
mean,
it's a guy with a wiener, and his wiener has teeth in it. Yeah.
On the outside. Like a Stegosaurus.
Or it's like the top, the balls would be like the bottom jaw, and the dick would be the top. So it'd be like
It's so gross.
like a sock puppet. But yeah, tell us more about your week.
Man, so Species was dope. I mean, I just love like that her fucking nipples are fucking tendrils that can pierce through like objects. Her eyes and face, like the CGI on it, it was really cool because as I was watching it, I was really like trying to make out the features, and it's like a movie from the 90s, so it's kind of like they do a lot of hiding of the creature, but when you do see it, it looks really dope, and it looks very, very like just grotesque and alien, but also still beautiful. Like the actress is beautiful, the character is beautiful, but like very disturbingly beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just a big fan of that. I like it when creatures are killed in like a lake of fire, and that's kind of what happens at the end. Spoilers, sorry, but I was very much like into it, and I put it on a whim. I was just like, let me just watch it right quick.
I was gonna say that's one thing that's like very much H.R. Geiger is like sex and genitals and like biomechanicalism,
and aliens, and
it's like
hell yeah.
So that movie is very much an encapsulation of, like, it almost feels like it's more his movie, but I guess it is very American too.
I forgot, is that Guillermo del Toro? Didn't he direct one of those?
Ooh.
You're thinking of Mimic.
Or Mimic. I'm probably thinking Mimic.
Because that's the other green one from like...
That's exactly what I'm thinking of, yeah.
Yeah, it's another green one with like 3 sequels or some shit. Mimic's good too.
That one also has a sexy creature in it too.
Yeah, those cockroaches.
Yeah.
This movie also made me like remember the movie Splice.
Yeah.
That movie, that movie fucked me up.
Yeah, it's similar. It's not exactly the same. I mean, both the creatures are like man-made, but Species is more of like they get DNA from like Mars or some shit like that.
Yeah.
It reminded me a lot of that, and I love the movie Species, and it was, I don't know, for some reason, childhood friends of mine used to call me Species for some reason.
I don't.
Do you remember that, Dala? Splice. Oh, Splice.
Yeah.
That's right. Remember? I don't know how that happened, what started, what was the reason, but that was the nickname.
I think it was one of our good friends.
Splice.
Yeah. We'd call it like, shut up, Splice.
Oh! Bruh, I think I'm remembering. Actually, it's because there's like a gender change in that movie, and I, as a young man in my hometown, wasn't very forward thinking. So my femininity kind of like made people think that
you had long hair and
yeah, I had long hair.
That was the only thing.
Jeans.
Jesus Christ.
All my friends were girls, so
Yeah.
I think that's how it started.
So they called you the
Splice.
fucking creature splice.
That's right.
Jesus.
That's right. And then I moved to the Bay Area.
Yeah. And now it's a good thing. It's endearing nickname.
Now it's endearing. It's cool points. I'm accepted in all circles.
Now I get called Splice every day, and it doesn't even hurt my feelings anymore.
Oh shit.
But yeah, and now I just really want to watch the movie Splice. Immediately after seeing Species, I saw another great movie. I just mentioned it, May. I hadn't seen that movie since high school.
What is it about? Because I've
And May
seen
is
the
such a good
poster.
movie.
I think I've seen that one. as well.
So May, after watching it, I can't tell if there's like a lot of paranormalness to it, but the movie comes off pretty like just like it's just the story of a really socially awkward girl, right? Like she's born with like a lazy eye, doesn't get it fixed until the movie starts, really, and so she kind of grew up very meek, very quiet. She works as like a vet assistant, so she's just around animals all the time, and she has this weird doll that her verbally abusive mother gave to her and was like, don't touch this fucking doll, but it is your only friend. So she kind of grows up being like very contactless, and you know, everyone avoids her because she's kind of weak and like, or not weak, excuse me, like meek. You know, she doesn't really
quiet,
you know, exert herself or anything like that. You know, she's in the background. She hides behind her hair. That's like a big part of like the first 10 minutes of the movie is hiding behind her hair to hide her lazy eye. She gets her glasses fixed because of her benefits as a technician in a vet place, I'm assuming.
Oh, gotcha.
But then the world starts to realize that she's like super cute. Like the actress is super cute. She kind of reminds me of the original OG Wednesday Addams actress.
That isn't her. I thought that was her.
Christina Ricci.
Lionel Richie.
Is that her?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Oh.
Lionel Richie?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Lionel Richie.
Well, Lionel Richie could get it, y'all. She was really cute. And then just the hair, and she wears glasses, and I'm just like, all right, cool.
Whoa,
cool.
babe, I
Like,
didn't know you
can
wear
work with
glasses.
You know what's funny is you telling the description about the vet thing. It's funny because like I feel like I always see the cover for May on Tubi, like the streaming site Tubi, and it's always right next to, I think it's called American Jane or something. It's the one where the lady has like a bone saw and she's a serial killer, or it's like American Mary or something. But I feel like the two of them, and they're both about
Psycho
like
2, starring Mila Kunis.
It looks like it should be, but it's not. Fuck, let me look it up. But yeah, go on. Sorry, just made me think of that.
No, just the movie's super good. Not to give away so much, but she starts to kind of be manipulative in a way throughout the movie as she's gaining her new like feminine like kind of edge. You know, she's she starts to. She always. Even before she gets glasses, she mentions like, oh, I like certain people's body parts. Like I fixate on somebody's neck, somebody's legs, thighs, somebody's arms. And then eventually
I remember this.
to replace her doll that gets broken.
Yeah, she becomes a werewolf.
Her, like, life is crumbling. No, that's Ginger Snap.
Yeah, for sure.
Getting all these
another
movies.
good
Yeah, that was great.
Another good scary like chick flick, but not really. I don't know. But
female empowerment movie, horror movie.
Yeah, I mean that's how I would say it.
Yeah.
These
nuts.
She ends up just making a doll out of like all of the parts she collects from the new people that start to give her attention, as she's now a beautiful, like edgy kind of nerd girl. And she makes a doll, and it comes alive at the end, and I'm just like, yo, I didn't get any sense of paranormal throughout the movie, but I love that at the very end. There's just this like kind of like it's alive, like this. this
what
like
if it's like
Frankenstein
her
doll made of all these beautiful, sexy parts just comes alive and hugs her, and that's how the movie ends. And I love that shit so much.
I imagine that's like psychological, or it's like not. Maybe it's like that's the thing. It's meant to be like, oh, is it real or is this in her mind? Because I imagine if there's no hint, it's probably got to be in her mind.
Huh. That's so funny because that reminds me of this movie I saw when I was a kid, and it's like it was like a DVD 10-pack my dad had bought from somewhere, where it's like 100 scary movies that'll scare your face off. But a majority of them were like public domain horror movies from like the 1930s, the 1970s, and one of them was like a slasher movie, where this guy was going around cutting people up. Well, I forgot if it was a guy, but basically at the end, it turns out he was making he had an abusive mother too. Yeah, they had an abusive mother character, and they were piecing together this giant, like, doll. And at the end, it's not like a happy note. At the end, I think the cops break in, they kill the killer or whatever, and when they open the like, fucking, it's just in a cabinet too. That when they open up the cabinet, like, this fucking doll person comes walking out, and it ends with like them like,
what the fuck,
fucking chasing the detective or whatever, or like about to grab the detective.
This is from the 30s, or
I think it's like from the 70s.
Okay, I was like, that's some pretty advanced stuff for the 30s.
Yeah, that's dope. I love that
because that sounds exactly like what you said, and I promise I didn't make it up this time.
You're like, actually, yeah, that was just May. It was the same movie.
Oh wait, no, I made that up. Damn it. No, just kidding, I didn't.
Okay, I was like, you bitch.
I didn't, or did I?
Ooh, spooky.
Ooh, that's the spookiness of this episode.
I've been on a big spooky kick for the past 2 months, really since August.
Yeah.
I've just been playing some scary video games in my off time, like on weekends mainly. I start to play this one like little like random RPG game called Fear and Hunger. I don't know if you guys have heard about it.
In Las Vegas?
No. Yeah.
No.
The sequel.
This movie is actually like a mix, or not movie. This game is like a mix of Berserk, and then kind of like, I don't know, more like JRPG dungeon crawls. I guess it takes place in the dungeons of Fear and Hunger.
Interesting.
You can play as like 4 characters. There's a character that's exactly like Casca from Berserk. There's a character that's kind of like a Thor Guts mix.
Yeah.
He's kind of the girl character. She's the knight character of the 4. She's kind of really overpowered, really strong, a lot of armor. And then there's this.
This looks cool as shit. I looked it up.
You looked at it's really, really dope.
Very much inspired by Berserk.
Yes. Like, so many story points are, pretty much like pulled from Berserk.
Yeah.
There's this like barbarian warrior class that's like a cannibal. So that's how you heal in the game. The game is like, you don't, like the title is, Fear and Hunger. Like, you lose your sanity and you start to starve as you progress throughout the dungeon. So there's health, insanity, and then hunger. So like the barbarian character can eat people after you kill them. And then there's a mercenary thief, which was like my favorite
Always
character to be. Yeah, can be super overpowered, really, really cool. Kind of makes the game really easy for the first third. And then there's like the hard mode, which is like a dark mage who's physically weak but gets like access to necromancy, so you can just start to revive corpses and skeletons that you come across in the game. And it's all turn-based. It's really, really dope. There's like a big like YouTube online community about it, and I love shit like that. Like, if I can get into like something small but there's like a dedicated fan base, that can really, really keep me occupied for like seasons at a time. I've been on this game for like 4 months, So I've just been playing that a lot. And then the RE4 remake.
Sorry, what's it
on? I have it on Steam.
Okay. I need to get on that. Yeah, sorry, you're saying RE4 remake?
Yeah, I played the RE4 remake, which I think has been out since April.
Mm-hmm.
But I just got it and like got the DLC. Like, right as I bought it, the DLC came out a day later.
Yeah.
And the DLC is so sick. I don't know if either of you have played it, but I love Ada Wong, and this DLC like really, really made her, even more so than Resident Evil 6 and Resident Evil 2 remake. It made Ada Wong more of like a
pivotal character or something.
Just like a pivotal badass character. Like I want a game only of Ada. Like she's cool, very charming, She deserves her own game. Like that should be RE9. Like I want Ada Wong just tearing it up, and maybe Player 2's Hunk.
Oh man.
The game was really dope, and I've just been playing those two games a lot whenever I get a chance to play games if I'm not watching movies or doing something with music.
So
playing with my cats.
It's so funny. I was gonna suggest that you play Baldur's Gate if you like the kind of point and click RPG, turn-based stuff. Really fun. It's on right now. It's on PC and PS5. So you're kind of, if you don't have any of those, you're a little limited. And speaking of Resident Evil 4, funny enough, I just re-downloaded Steam. I deleted it because I was playing Baldur's Gate, and it kept deleting my save files or corrupting them. After
play Baldur's
70
Gate.
hours. Yeah, well, that's for me, because I don't know if I had enough space. But since downloading a hard drive, or I didn't download a hard drive, I bought a hard drive.
You wouldn't steal a car, would you?
I just
would you
downloaded
download
the
a hard
space,
drive?
and then I had more space.
Yeah.
It was a quick fix.
There you go.
Yeah, so I was trying to download Baldur's Gate on this new hard drive, and it kept giving me issues, and it kept stopping, and I was like, fuck this, I'm quitting Baldur's Gate, whatever. I deleted Steam. I re-downloaded Steam today. I tried to download Baldur's Gate, wasn't working, and I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna re-download Resident Evil 4. I just started re-downloading Resident Evil 4, and I really want to play that DLC.
It's so fun. She feels completely different than Leon. Much more like I wanted the whole game to play as Ada.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you get like 5 or 6 chapters in the DLC, which is pretty cool. It's like in total, it's like if you take your time, it's like 8 hours of gameplay. And I was just really like, I just started playing Mercenaries. I redid the DLC because I was just like, I just want to control Ada for this game in these like systems, like with these controls. Super fun. I love her design, the red and black.
I'm sure there's if you have it on PC, you could probably get mods to play as Ada the whole time. If it's PC.
See, I've never really gotten into mods. I only have a system.
Gotcha.
And I don't know. I always like the idea of mods, but I feel like downloading that extra step. That's what all that does it for me. I'm a little lazy. Like
fair.
I'm just like, I don't want to download.
And then like if it doesn't work the first time, you're like, all right, fuck mods. Never play this game again.
No, I was gonna say, you brought up, because this is horrible for me too. Like this brings up horrible times in my life. But you mentioned your Baldur's Gate got corrupted. I mean, has that happened for any other game for you?
No, just that one.
Or you, Dala?
I remember the best I could think of is I had Donkey Kong Country 2 on like a Game Boy Advance, and I had like 110% it or whatever the hell because you could do that, and then I let someone borrow it. When I got it back, it was like they deleted my save file.
I remember you telling me that.
I was
They
so
took
mad
because they're like, sick, this is mine for the week, and then they just restarted everything.
Yeah, and I was like,
it was
and the
me,
thing is,
guys. It was me.
Yeah. I was just trying to bury the lead. I'm over it. Therapy. Yeah. It's been 5 years of therapy, but starting to get over it.
Yeah.
No, but go on.
That's happened to me with a lot of games, unfortunately. I have a PS4. I'm really into like FromSoft games, and I put in a lot of time on Bloodborne. Dala can probably attest to this. When we lived together, I played that shit for like 13 months.
Back when we were married.
Straight. Yeah, that's right. And then again during the pandemic, I like played 2 like more run-throughs of Bloodborne. But my first run-through of Bloodborne, I like New Game Plus'd it all the way to New Game Plus 7, which is like the hardest difficulty. That's where the cap ends, Wow. So I put in over 300 hours into that game because there's so much you can do. You can farm in these like dungeons that are random, and just putting in like all the stats after a while. I mean, after New Game Plus 1, it gets you like level up at maybe every 3 hours. Like it gets to that point. And I put in so much time, had like a dope dope motherfucking character. And it corrupted, and 300 hours like gone, like a year of my life gone, really, you know.
Jeez.
And I had to put it down for like months. I did not want to play Bloodborne. I moved on to Dark Souls 3, and I was like,
essentially the same kind of game.
Yeah. But it's not, though. It's not. It doesn't have like half the charm. It doesn't have half the design. Yeah, like that happened to me once. And then there was another time. This is probably the worst one. Maybe. I mean, when I was a kid, it really hurt. But it was my first Pokemon game. Pokemon Sapphire. I had over 200 hours on that too. You know, I had so many teams of level 100 that I grinded my own self. I had like Deoxys. I had like all these exclusives, and then it got corrupted one day. And that really hurt too.
Damn.
Yeah.
Fucking
it was really depressing. Really depressing. I know, it's sad. And then of course, I think most people that have Pokemon Silver on the Game Boy Color or Game Boy, I think. I mean, those ones, all those old Game Boy cartridges that are Pokemon, like they be corrupted pretty fast.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with that.
And you know what? Speaking of corruption, Dala, how has your week been?
Been pretty
Corrupt
chill.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I fucking made millions off of money laundering. Yeah, you know, selling out all the cocaine I made from money laundering.
Wait, so you money laundered and then made cocaine?
Yeah, and then all the cocaine I made from pimping out the cocaine. No, but the week's been pretty chill. I mean, not too much. I mean, I did like a couple movie marathons, so this will lead to my my Rick and Morty's for the October season.
Yeah, that's right. You reckon Rick and Morty conditions, I think they were.
Yes. This is my this week's Rick and Mortardations, whatever the fuck, Turduckins. I rewatched. So both these movies are actually I rewatched. I rewatched Turduckins.
It's 2020, dude, bro. You can't say that.
It's okay. My mom's a turducken.
It's 2023. Oh, your mom's a turducken?
Yeah, it's okay. I'm half
I'm
turducken.
so sorry.
So I'm turkey.
I'm sorry.
But not the chicken.
I didn't
part,
know.
No. But I rewatched The Thing. You know, the classic, great fucking movie.
Nice,
with a group of friends. Solid. Just highly recommend. You know, I haven't seen the original John Carpenter. Go out and check it out. Or I should say the remake, because it's technically a remake. I mean, go watch the original too. Go watch the original too, because even that one's like pretty cool. It's like a 30s movie. The other one I actually kind of want to recommend that I think it kind of needs to get a little bit boost in like popularity is so I watched Saturday the 14th, the movie on Saturday the 14th, and it's a goofy 80s. It came out in like 81. It's not even like a parody of like Friday the 13th. Is the weird part, because there's not like a
it at all.
No, it's vampire, like haunted house movie, but it's pretty funny. It's got its moments. It reminds me of like Transylvania 6681 or whatever it is.
Yeah,
that one movie with Jeff Goldblum with the Fly.
Transylvania 65000.
Yeah, 65000. It's great. It's fun. Or both of them actually. Those two would make a great double feature if you want like a lighthearted comedy 80s, you know, like horror movie. Yeah, like I think they're pretty kid friendly too. At least Saturday the 14th. I'm gonna give a couple book recos. The first one,
a little bit of Boo Rex.
Yeah, my Boo
is short
Rex.
for book.
Yes, the K is short for recommendations. No, these are two books that actually have like scared me in the past. The first one being The Sandman, Neil Gaiman's The Sandman, the volume 1. I think it's Preludes and Nocturnes, I think is the title. I mean, if you've read it, you know, 24 hours, the issue, 24 hours is just fucking
Jesus.
Horrendous. I think you've read it, right, Gib?
Oh yeah, Sandman is one of my favorite pieces of literature, and I will describe it that way.
Totally.
Unironically.
Yeah, no, and that's why I'm putting it up there with my other recommendation. And Ray Bradbury's Illustrated Man, if any of you have read that. It's I mean, I assume y'all know who Ray Bradbury is. The guy, fucking Fahrenheit 451. No, he's like a author from. All right, so I'm getting a maybe. Collect the average of the yes and no is a maybe, so I'm gonna move on. No, he's like an author from like the '60s. Does a lot of like sci-fi, heavy sci-fi. But Illustrated Man is a anthology book, a bunch of short stories, and the like it's kind of cool because the premise there's this guy with all these tattoos, and each tattoo leads to the story. So there's like it's like, oh, you have like a rocket ship tattoo, and then it like kind of like leads into the story of like, and this is the story that scared me the most. I think it's called Rocket Ship, and essentially it starts off and then a rocket explodes, and then we get the perspective of a guy kind of just floating in space, and he's just like, well, shit, I'm dead.
That is terrifying.
And like, well, and the part that scared the fuck out of me, I remember he's like, yeah, I'm flying through space. I'm gonna be dead. I'm gonna starve before I hit anything. And he looks down and his hand's missing. He's like, oh, because he's flying so fast in the vacuum of space that like pieces of him are getting hit by meteors essentially.
Oh no!
Like it's so cold he doesn't feel. It's just like, oh my god, just so existentially.
Jesus Christ, that's terrifying.
Yeah, that one's the most scary. And there's another one I remember being pretty scary. It's essentially like almost the end of the world, and everyone's like, it's like the day before, and everyone's aware. So it's like that one's also pretty.
All right, guys, the world's ending tomorrow. Get ready, we got Black Friday sales coming up.
Oh god.
All right, guys, you guys got to clock in early tomorrow, 6 a.m. We do have the end of the world
Tell
sale.
you what, I'll give you tomorrow off just because y'all are doing so well. But yeah, that was the fucking.
I can't come into work today. I'm not feeling too good.
The Earth is not feeling too good. But yeah, check those out. I mean, Illustrated Man. It's been a minute since I've read Illustrated Man, but I remember it being pretty solid. I mean, obviously, like I said, it's pretty fucking existentially dreadful, at least.
Yeah, that sucks big time. That is a big fear of mine. Although it's like not like it's anything I have to worry about. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
no,
it's still something in the back of my mind that I'm just like, why? Hey,
I think.
Don't go to space.
I think I read that in high school or maybe like going into college, and that's where I was like, oh, this is what would happen? Like, fuck that. Like,
yeah,
never. And just one last thing for my week. Yesterday I went to a improv show that was pretty fun. It was
nice.
The improv class students like kind of did their like presentation essentially. It's fun shit. It was you could definitely tell there's like who's the people there that are like too like I'm the main character or I'm the like popular one. Yeah. But then you could tell there's like the people that are like
theater kids.
Basically the ones that are like jumping in on every scene, and you're like, okay, what about the other people that haven't jumped in? Or like, but then there's like some where you're like, oh, you're doing this to kind of get the skills because you want to be a writer and maybe this will help. Or like there's this one guy who's really
character
cool.
Development.
Basically like being able to write and character development and kind of like go with it. There's this one guy that was like really great, but he was kind of typecasting himself to this like little sniveling like maniacal guy, like meh. But he was so good at it, and I was like, damn, don't typecast yourself too much, guy. Come on, get some range. What about you, Gib? What you got going for the past week or so?
Yeah, so, listening to some new music, not necessarily a new artist, kind of an artist I've been following for a while. The Drums. Funny enough, nice. Spooky and I are big The Drums fans. And
it's true.
Yeah, I've been kind of following their music for a long time now. Really fun, like, synthy, summery, kind of poppy vibes. That was very much in their, like, earlier stuff. And their last 3 albums in particular, I want to say, starting from like 2016. In 2016, they released an album called Abysmal Thoughts, which that one had a really fun, like, darker kind of like, I don't want to say edge to it, but it was like the singer Johnny Pierce was kind of, I'm partying a lot, or I'm like, like there's a song called Blood Under My Belt, and it's very much like there's like a recklessness to that album, if that makes sense. Like an album that's very much like, I am being reckless, I'm in my reckless stage. And then there was an album 3 years after that, I believe in 2019, called Brutalism. And that one very much kind of chronicled his like him having to move on from his past and kind of come to terms with like the, I guess the present or failed like coming out of that reckless phase. And then he just had and that one was a little more bouncy, a little more like upbeat. It didn't feel as like downtrodden as the first album I mentioned. Yeah, and that leads to this new album. Came out Friday the 13th, funny enough, called Johnny. I guess not self-titled, but this one is much more like it's still got that like synthy kind of drums pop to it, but there's like a somber kind of like, there's a very reflective kind of tone on it. It seems like it's very much him coming to terms with like his trauma in life and like just things that I've had. You're smiling over there, Dala?
I like the album art.
What do you want to tell the class? Huh?
I like the album art. I looked up
the album art is great.
Yeah, I looked up the album. I was like, yeah, sorry.
That's the thing. I like once I bring the album.
That's
up,
what drew me in.
Click the phone. Click the phone off. No, it's just. I mean, it's also funny enough, very much representative of what the album is. Like he's laying it all out. He's bare.
Fair.
It's very much like him trying to find honesty within himself and like be kind to himself, and I don't know, it's a very interesting 3 last albums, kind of very much a
therapeutic
trilogy
almost sounds.
Very much, yeah. It's fun. And it's fun.
Aren't these last 3 albums where he's kind of really taken over the direction of the group? Like it's no longer really a band and much more like
well,
Johnny's kind of
like a single or like
their own thing.
Yeah, that was the thing. I think it was okay, so I don't know if they have 6 albums right now, but
I think they do, because it's the drums and then Portamento, Encyclopedia, and then it goes into
Abysmal Thoughts.
Abysmal Thoughts.
Brutalism.
Yeah, so the first three were from when the band was a band and it was a duo. And I guess that's where it was more like, since there were more people having hands on it, it wasn't as self-reflective, or as, that's where it was much more like summery pop, like, I don't know, not like there wasn't much substance to the lyrics, but it was, it wasn't as, like, vulnerable. And that kind of didn't start happening until it was just Johnny Pierce. And yeah, he's been doing the last 3 albums, I guess, on his own, maybe with a recording team, but
right.
Yeah, pretty fire stuff. I definitely recommend that.
Absolutely. Yeah, that sounds awesome. I didn't even know there was a new release. I want to check that out.
Yeah, it's good. It's got some, like I said, it's somber, but it's really nice.
I was say drums are cool. I like their like stuff, but I definitely don't listen to them enough. But I do like visiting them, so I'll definitely have to give it a listen to.
I love the drums so much because they remind me of my favorite band, the Smiths, and the Smiths has like they're pretty much a duo with like a backing team, behind them. But it was Stephen Patrick Morrissey singing, doing lyrics, and then Johnny Marr writing like all of the music. And I felt like those first 2 albums, especially of the drums, was like the successors of the Smiths.
It felt like it. It felt like it at points.
And now that the drums are kind of, it's a Johnny show. It's kind of like, that's what happened with the Smiths. Morrissey went off to be his own and started to write very, very like revealing, very vulnerable music, much more so than the music of the band, which was like more, they were speaking, I guess, like as the audience to, I guess, like the world, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you bringing this up, this trilogy, I'm like, I want to go back and listen to them all now.
Yeah, listen to it with that kind of perspective, because that's kind of what I've gotten from it. Yeah, it's very nice, very therapeutic. Another thing I wanted to bring up too, that I thought was kind of interesting, they just announced, or I guess Disney Plus just announced, a live-action Gargoyles series with no actors, but the team behind it is going to be Atomic Monster, which is the team that works, James Wan. Like James Wan's, like horror studio production. Which, that's what gets me intrigued. I guess, side note, or something that kind of works in tangent with that. That's right. Daredevil Reborn got canceled. Well, it didn't get canceled. It's getting
like retooled. Yeah.
It's getting retooled. And a big part of that is because of the writer's strikes. So it's actually, it's a blessing in disguise, mainly because now Disney, Marvel, whoever it is, they're not just going to film everything and then in post they're going to figure out. Yeah, and figure out what didn't work. Like now they're actually going to fucking
do a pilot,
have writers and have Bibles and have the, which is funny because another podcast was talking about this earlier, but it's like Marvel is finally going to start doing the things that you kind of think that TV shows and companies do already, but I guess not.
I mean, they usually TV shows do it. It's just Marvel was trying to like, sounds like, be like, yeah, fuck it, we're not gonna pay for that.
Well, no, usually it's like executives. Like, it's the executives that are like, nah, that's not that. Fucked up thing too. Sorry, a lot of different side notes. It was revealed that in X-Men 3, the Last Stand, at one point Halle Berry wasn't signed on yet, so they made a fake script that like the opening scene was Storm saving a bunch of like kids in Africa. They gave it to and they were telling the director at the time, they're like, this is just to lure her in, we're not really gonna film this. So
fuck,
you know. Yeah,
That's
executives are so fucked. Yeah, executives are fucked. But with that being said, I think gargoyles in this new age of like, you know, conscious writing, hopefully it's gonna be fun. But speaking of gargoyles that live together, and you know, we're a bunch of gargoyles that used to live together. That brings me on to the topic of the week, right? So yeah, we're a bunch of people that you wouldn't have expect us to live together in the same shared space. So with that in mind, I was thinking, what movies, standalone movies right now, do you think could fit into other standalone movie universes, like without a hitch? You know, you could either come up with your own premise. There doesn't have to be this for a fucking Forrest Gump versus Jason movie. You know what I mean? But like, I guess for example,
Doctor Who and House, the show.
Whoa.
House becomes Doctor Who.
So for example, funny enough, you brought up Dala. You brought up the Thing earlier.
Oh, earlier? Yeah.
I was actually thinking, you got the Thing in Antarctica. It would make sense too. It would kind of make sense.
I'm just fucking around, but yeah.
It would kind of, only because they're both from space.
That was to be fair. I was like, it is a shapeshifter, I guess, too. So I was like, shit,
exactly,
that works, surprisingly. But that's not what I was joking around. I was trying to be.
No, but something I was thinking, The Blob. The Blob, either both the original, like 1950s, whatever, or the remake from the 80s, they could both kind of be slotted into the same like world of conspiracy and like tension, where in Antarctica you got the Thing going on, and in America, although it's not a alien creature, it's a man-made creature, you got the events of the Blob happening. And that's kind of one, just one little example.
That's, it's funny. It's like there's like for me, there's like and I mean, I'm sure most people would agree. There's like a quadrilogy of 80s remakes that are just fucking gold. It's those two, The Fly, and this one's a little bit more, maybe not like gold, but silver is Invaders from Mars. All are like remakes from 50s movies, or like 40s, 50s, to in like 80s with like high practical effects. And I feel like it's funny that you mentioned that. I was like, I feel like all four of them you could probably. I mean, The Fly is easy to just stick in a corner, but yeah. But that's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess non-horror. One I was telling you guys last night was Collateral, the movie Collateral, starring Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx. I believe Tom Cruise is a hitman. At one point, he meets up with a character who's played by Jason Statham in like a suit. The whole theory is that that's supposed to be the Transporter from the Transporter universe, although it's never really directly stated, I believe.
Stated, yeah.
Little things like that. it might have been hinted that the Mummy universe takes place in the G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra universe, because Brendan Fraser plays a commander in there that might have like a similar name to like or some kind of relation to the dude from the Mummy. So that's another kind of,
connection.
Yeah, but let me know if you guys have any. I don't want to hear no bullshit like I think that the fucking the
Spider-Man
the
and
Dalai
Iron
Lama
Man shit.
movie and the fucking Apple movie take place in the same universe. Like, I don't want to hear anything like that.
I mean, they do.
Dala.
Yeah. I already said my joke once earlier.
But yeah, you guys, anyone want to go first? I mean, I could go first if you guys want. Although I did give the examples, and that wouldn't be fair, but I could suck it up.
There's a trilogy of movies that I went after seeing. I feel like they all are almost so similar. And I will say 2 of them are written by Tarantino, so I guess that could be kind of weird. Or you can interchange those ones. But the movie Wild at Heart by David Lynch, Natural Born Killers, and then True Romance are all 3 about like a road trip with these like couples that are kind of like alt culture or like killers. And so I was just kind of thinking like how kind of cool it would be if like they all kind of cross paths, or if you just take one of the Quentin Tarantino ones. Like I'd say Natural Born Killers, because that one's a bit more intriguing to me. Although there's some interesting Tarantino-esque characters in True Romance too. So either way, but Wild at Heart, I just want to see Nick Cage's character with Laura Dern just kind of like flipping out Woody. Yeah, just kick dancing with Woody Harrelson, and they're just like, "Ooh, I like the cut of your jib, dude." And it's like, "Yeah," and like, "Let's go fuck up people," and protect our girls, and they can also kick ass too, But that would probably first one that comes to mind. Just those, so again, they're very similar too, though, with like the style and kind of just the motifs and themes.
I guess one that we had mentioned on the podcast previously that I want to kind of bring up again, Evil Dead, like Evil Dead 2, Ash reading the Necronomicon. You got Night of the Demons, classic. Kids on Halloween go to a haunted house and they get fucking attacked and possessed one by one. And then Boneyard, the Boneyard. It's a movie where this 350-pound detective has to solve this child murder case.
I thought it was gonna be your catchphrase. I picked titular and you picked 300-pound lady detective.
Well, no, my titular catchphrase is going to be describing someone in extreme exaggerations.
300 pounds is like not even like insane, to be fair. I don't know.
She wasn't even 300 pounds. Okay, so
yeah.
Okay, so Spooky. We watched this movie called Boneyard. Really fun, spooky Thanksgiving horror movie. And I was reading about it, and I read a review at one point that brought up and I don't know, it seemed like it was an official synopsis. It was like 300-pound retired psychic detective has to and then it just went on with the premise. And I thought that was going to come into play at one point. I thought that was going to be important.
Like, it's not even said.
It's not even said. She's not even 300 pounds. She is a psychic, though. But it's a good movie. And you could say that, Evil Dead 2 is, the catalyst of all of that.
Boneyard. I just heard about this yesterday. I'm very intrigued in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to... I get the Evil Dead and
Night of the Demons.
I as soon as you said, I'm like, yes, I feel that, that connection.
Oh yeah, no, I feel like those. Honestly, I would throw Demons into that that trilogy.
The Italian movie.
Yeah, it is a bit different, but I feel like it's very much inspired by Evil Dead at the very least.
Funny enough, there's you could maybe say Reanimator in the Evil Dead verse.
Yeah.
Technically Freddy versus Jason, because the Necronomicon.
The
Necronomicon
Jason X goes to hell.
Yeah. The Necronomicon was also in Pumpkinhead 2, so you could say that Pumpkinhead takes place in the Evil Dead universe.
And the Oldsmobiles in Spider-Man, all the Spider-Man movies, you can see all of those.
I don't know about
and
that.
Drag Me to Hell. Drag Me to Hell probably counts too, I'm sure, at some point.
Drag Me to Hell, Drag Me to Hell is in the Evil Dead universe for sure.
It feels much
It's like number 4.
Yeah, you think of...
Oh, sorry, I was gonna say too, there was a movie called Necronomicon. It's just a movie called Necronomicon, which I think came out after Evil Dead 2. I know, it was probably trying to, like, harp off of it.
Yeah.
But it's about H.P. Lovecraft, who it's an anthology. It's an anthology about the Necronomicon, and there's a bunch of different stories. That could be like a prequel or precursor or whatever, side story. But yeah, what about you, Spooky?
Well, really quick about the Necronomicon, I think there's like either the Necronomicon in Adventure Time or like a play on the Necronomicon in Adventure Time. And in Adventure Time, there's like a bunch of instances of like the dead coming back to life, or there's at least a few, you know.
Yeah.
So
it's like the first episode
too. Yeah, it is the first. Yeah, I mean, I guess I feel like a connection. Maybe it's cheap and maybe it's like unofficial and true already, but like it's kind of obvious. But like I feel like Corpse Bride maybe a prequel to The Nightmare Before Christmas.
I see.
Isn't there?
I see.
I think there
I've
is
seen
stuff,
that
isn't
theory.
there?
Yeah.
Like,
is there something about that?
Well, like a theory, I thought.
I feel like it's kind of obvious.
Yeah, I think it's a theory. But this is
Well,
these are all theories, brother. We're all here
Yes.
sharing our mystic theories, right? Putting it out there in the ether.
For me, with my fucking tinfoil hat on right now, what would the theory be, or like how is it a prequel? I guess it's just.
So I mean, you got to go off of like the cover of it, like the aesthetic of it in general,
yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
The main characters are both pretty lanky dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Jack is described as being like very famous throughout England and France, and I'm pretty sure Corpse Bride takes place like in
England or France.
like in England, the UK is for sure in Europe or whatever. So Corpse Bride's kind of older. I feel like it's like maybe like 1930s, yeah, like around that time,
I
or
think
even
way
before
further
then.
back.
They're
I think it's
way
in the,
further,
like,
right? Maybe actually, yeah,
1800s.
like yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
because they don't
see,
even have cars.
yeah, I'm a
There's no
corpse and
cars.
I'm a bride. Yeah.
I'm Jack Skellington,
But-
see?
So there's that, there's that connection. Victor in that movie, very lanky, kind of not charismatic whatsoever, but the whole point of the movie is that he finally kind of gets his backbone at the end, thanks to like an undead woman from like the dead realm, like another dimension, right? So there's that thing. There's another dimension in the Corpse Bride, the land of the dead. And Nightmare Before Christmas, right? Like Jack Skellington's in like the land of Halloween, right? And there's those doors where you go through different portals. So there's kind of that connection, right?
Yeah.
And Jack Skellington's like the ultimate like front man. Like he's charismatic as fuck. Everyone loves him. The King of Halloween.
Yeah, Suavecito.
And like I feel like that's
Chicken.
like where Victor's story would progress. He would
Gotcha.
get to like this kind of being much more of an entertainer, right? Like his family's broke in Corpse Bride, and maybe like that's how they like get their money, right? Like maybe that's how he keeps Victoria, this women from like an affluent family, even though they're both going bankrupt, the families, like maybe that's it, like he becomes like this ultimate entertainer. Both of them have dogs, but that's a common theme in a lot of Tim Burton movies, even like Frankenweenie. It's like a pale, sickly male that has a fun dog.
My favorite
Both these
part of
characters have
Batman
dogs.
is when he has a dog, a bat dog.
A bat dog.
I mean, he does.
Maybe,
yeah.
maybe Frankenweenie is a prequel to Corpse Bride, and the little boy
Ooh.
grows up
See, but-
into.
Oh no, but
Isn't Frankenweenie like doesn't that take place in the 50s? Because I thought about that too. I was like, ooh.
I just
serious?
gaslight his ass. He's fucking with you. He does this all the time. Giv just loves fucking with people, including me. No.
Hell,
Actually, I was gonna add, if anything, I was gonna say maybe Coco, the Disney movie, takes like that's the same afterlife, just in the Mexican, like in Mexico. In my head, canon.
whoa.
My
Yeah.
I have not seen Coco yet.
Oh,
Hot take.
Hey,
that
Coco's
movie makes me
like,
cry.
honestly really good.
It's so good.
It's so good. Oh
That's why I'm
my!
afraid to watch it.
I get a little triggered now that you say that because
Shit, my bad.
I took somebody on a date to watch that movie. And then they started to cry, but my ass was just like, what's really sad? What are you crying about? And so I didn't comfort this person.
Yeah.
And then they ghosted me. And I'm like, I should have just cried during Coco.
Yeah. You know what's funny is
Oh man,
my
I
story
should've
was
just felt something.
yeah,
Yeah.
my broken heart.
What's coming out of your face right now?
I didn't want to be that dude that's like, yeah, I'm a fucking shoulder to cry on, a fucking dick
What the
to
fuck?
fucking lie on, you know? So I was just like, let me be like a good person.
You're watching
first,
a movie.
and
What
let
are you
me-
talking about?
I'm a stone wall.
Whoa! I don't want you to think I fuck on the first date. All right? Why you?
She'll like me if I have no emotions, if I'm emotionally unavailable to anyone, including a kid's movie. That's really fucking sad.
Definitely watch that movie. It's so good.
Yeah.
And, I mean, maybe watch it with somebody that you want to...
Silence.
Well, you know, I was gonna say, real quick, funny story on my end for Coco is I was dating someone where she really wanted to rewatch Coco with me, and I was like, oh, for sure. And it came out the same day. The Blu-ray came out the same day as Thor Ragnarok, so I bought both of them because I love Thor Ragnarok. And the whole time I was hyping up Thor Ragnarok, and she was like, oh, I guess, like so. And then I like slipped in Coco and just like, yeah, baby, gonna get laid tonight. And then I started crying, and she was like, ew, and left. I'm kidding
so then
about
you
that.
didn't get to slip in anything.
Yeah, no, damn.
Hey, fellas, everything we do is for a little bit of sniz. Am I right?
This is true.
A little slash.
Just
I mean,
a
that's why I'm
little
on
bit
this
of gush.
podcast, guys.
Yeah, man, we're getting popular, and we're doing this for to get slash.
It's terrible.
God damn.
So, oh god, what are we talking about?
So another one I was thought would be kind of a cool pairing is scanners, maybe like scanners versus spontaneous combustion. So scanners. David Cronenberg blows up people's heads, like that's the plot. Spontaneous combustion is actually like very similar. It's a Tobe Hooper, the guy that did Texas Chainsaw. And it has Brad Dourif in a really good fucking role where he plays this guy that when he gets angry, other people start combusting into flames. So I think it'd be kind of fun to have like a fire-based guy versus a guy that can like scan your mind and cause your head, you know.
Interesting.
It's a great
I
one. It's
imagine
just
a fight like there's a girl by Brad Dourif's side, and he's like, quick, say something to get me angry. And it's just like he just has to keep doing things again. Your shoe looks stupid. Oh, ow.
yeah, you have a bad sense of style. You told me the opposite.
Hey, I'm gonna make you dinner tonight. Oh, that sounds awesome. Just kidding.
Oh god, I left the toilet seat up. I know how much you hate that. Ah!
Hey, I made you fish, your favorite. Oh, thank you, honey. Just kidding, it's chicken.
But yeah, that would be my record. It's easy to put them together. To just have them fight. Just want to see a bunch of explosions and a bunch of fire like going off.
Ooh, maybe. Oh my God. Fucking Mystery Men and Kick-Ass. Do they exist in the same universe?
Ooh.
Or Kick-Ass is a little too real.
Yeah. I mean, I could. You know what? Though I could see that working because it's like maybe it starts off as Mystery Men, and then the Kick-Ass people come and it's like, holy shit, Jesus Christ! Like even the Mystery Men are like, that's a lot of like fucked up shit we're just seeing. You know, like
You guys need to chill, all right? We just got shovels over here.
yeah, we got
These guys
shovels
got
and guys that
forks.
get naked.
Yeah, we got a naked guy, a guy that shovels,
can't see
a
him.
guy with a bunch of forks, and a lady with a bowling ball.
Yeah.
And a guy that gets really mad.
There you go. No, all right. No, spontaneous combustion versus Mystery Men, just so the mad men can go off at each other. That'd be great.
What about you, Spooky? You got any more?
I have like two more. They're kind of short. I literally just thought of them right now, but maybe like T2 is the prequel to Dune. Right? Because in Dune there's that like it's like a technology jihad, right? Where the technology gets so advanced and they the humans are like, all right, we're gonna get rid of that. We still have space travel, like they developed that through like drug use. But they get rid of like all technology, all robots, all AI, you know, because that was about to erase their humanity. I don't know how real that is, and also Dune is a book that was written before Terminator, so maybe Terminator just like kind of got that from Dune. I'm not sure,
Good man.
but when given this prompt, that is something that comes to mind. Like, oh, like that'd be so dope if like
That's where it
those
came
universes
from.
were kind of put together. You know, that's where it, comes from. Like that Terminator eventually turns into like a space Game of Thrones.
What if?
And then the other one.
Oh, go on.
No, yeah. What were you saying? Yes.
I was gonna say, what if Terminator and Mad Max?
Yeah, like leads to the downfall. The Terminators
and
drink
Mad
all the
Max
water.
Is just Australia. Like Australia is the one area where like they managed to like. Okay, so imagine the bomb goes off right in LA, like you saw in T2, and it completely circles the entire planet. But once it gets to Australia, it's like that's enough. So Australia's
No more.
just completely fucked. Oh no, we ran out
Shit.
of bomb.
The bomb. Yeah.
You get away this time, Australia.
My second one would be a callback to earlier, right? When I was saying like, oh yeah, alien species. Man, I mean, maybe species is right before alien, right? I mean, even the main species monster is a woman, right? The main kind of like when I think of alien, I think of the queen.
Yeah.
And maybe
She's like the proto queen.
first queen ever. Yeah, she's the proto queen.
I would
They
say-
got the same shape head, similar design.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of easy.
Same nipples.
Similar design, but maybe same nipples.
Okay.
I will say I prefer that over the Prometheus, honestly. Like, I'll take that over
Yeah,
Prometheus
right?
or Alien Covenant.
And then it's like, yo, the ultimate killer of humans was something that humans like created.
Started.
You know?
Yeah.
Something you could fuck.
Yeah. Something you could fuck.
Super
Yes,
hot.
that's great. Actually, no, that's perfect. It was something you could fuck.
So-
And all these alien xenomorphs, they're all very sensual, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
agreed.
same designer.
It's true.
but-
That's true. Everything about all of his designs. But you know what? It's so funny that you bring up aliens. Aliens, Blade Runner. Those I don't know if those are already confirmed or if it's the same instance where it's like they're like in the same universe or it's just widely speculated. No,
Implied,
they are in the same
probably.
universe because there's a Yutani or like a Wayland
Oh,
corporation.
yeah,
logo
Wayland.
in Blade Runner. I think what's tangentially related might be Total Recall and Blade Runner. I think those might be in the same, or they could be in the same universe.
Yeah, you could make
Which
them
in
fit.
turn, Total Recall, Alien vs. Predator, and Blade Runner.
Something I'm noticing right now is that we're making these connections of like these 80s movies, these 80s like horror sci-fi things that they could all be connected, or like
Connect.
like the demons and
Yeah.
Evil Dead and then Aliens Species, which was 90s. But it just makes me think like, wow, I really love the 80s. Like just the storytelling, the media back then, it was so strong, and these all being connected, I'm like, wow, like there must have been something in the air back
Yeah.
then, you know?
Well, to change up the 80s to the 90s, actually, and get a little bit more foreign, my last one, one that I've actually surprised that I haven't seen happen, One Missed Call versus, or Cross the Ring, or Ringu. I think that would be like a great, like, because they're both phone-based as well. I would love like a scene
Yes.
where they're both trying to call you, like a race to call you, like Sadako and Mimiko. Yeah.
They're fighting inside the phone. They're fighting
And, like, the
inside
television.
text messages.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, no, yeah, like text me please,
Oh, my
call me
phone's
first, call me
glitching
first.
out.
No,
She
no, no.
drops her phone.
Yeah. And then like you have like the fight scene at the end where like, I mean, I think Sadako would beat Mimiko's ass, honestly, because Mimiko's mostly just a girl, but you know, just like there's like a fight scene where they're like grabbing hair and throwing each other into TVs and then like shooting through phones like electricity almost or something.
Wait, did you just say the main ghost of The Grudge and The Ring?
Wait, shit, isn't Sadako, that's Ring or am I thinking?
That's The Grudge.
Oh, my bad. What's Rings? Something with a K, because I remember the movie's called like Sadako versus Kayako versus Mimiko. I mean, fuck it, get all three. I mean, because we did already have The Grudge versus The Ring, so that's why I'm like, I feel like
Which I,
Huh?
Oh no, I was gonna say which I really, really love.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
fucking- But I love it.
my favorite part about it is that like paranormal detective guy, because
Yes.
he's great and he reminds me of like John Constantine. So it's like, fuck,
Uh-huh.
Japan got it right, not even America. I mean, or like, I guess John's like British, but you know, it's like fucking hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my last one. Is One Missed Ring. That's what we would call it.
One missed ring. Nice, nice. so I'm not gonna say this is my last one, just in case I think of any more. But the one that mainly got me thinking about this premise, Wishmaster and Puppet Master.
Okay.
Spooky, have you seen
Wishmaster? When I was like 6 or 7 years old, very, very young. I know the creature design very well.
Awesome stuff.
My grandmother, just how you were saying your dad bought all those those DVDs that have like 100 movies. My grandma was also very much into that. She got her hands on any kind of horror stuff, and that was just always in the background as she knitted or fucking cooked fried chicken. There's always that in the background. And I don't remember Wishmaster though, but I haven't thought about Wishmaster in years.
Yeah,
Particularly, you're
like
a big Puppet Master fan, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah, Wishmaster, very much like there's a evil djinn trapped inside of a ruby, and if you rub the ruby, he'll give you 3 wishes, but the wishes aren't what you think they are.
Well, it's stupid because it's always like, I bet you wish you were dead. I bet you wish you weren't born. And the guy's like, yeah. And then
he's like, I bet you wish that you didn't stub your toe earlier. And you'd be like, yeah, I guess. You'd be like, all right, so I'm cutting your foot off.
It's like
well,
you're not been.
What a bitch.
Yeah, it's like
Solves the
unmake
problem,
you
I
or some
guess.
bullshit. Yeah. Like, there's literally one of them, I think, where the guy like is robbing a bank and he was like, I bet you wish you weren't in this conundrum. He's like, yeah. So he turns him into like a puddle of like jizz, like he unbirthed it.
Yeah. It's like,
It's
I bet
so
you wish this didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah, man, not at all. It's so bad.
But there's some scenes where it's like, I don't know, it goes, not like it goes on for 2 minutes, but it's like, so, you don't like being in this situation, huh? And the guy's like, got a bullet in his leg on the floor. He's like, yeah, this really sucks. I don't know, man. So, would you bargain anything in order to rectify? Yeah, well, I guess maybe if there just happened to be somebody who can, like, maybe give me a
Make
wish
a
or
wish.
2 that can, like,
If only there was a
fix
djinn
this.
around.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of that.
Yeah. It's got one of my favorite
Wishmaster.
scenes in the second one. But yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Oh my god, yeah, watch the second one. Watch the first one first, and then watch the second
Yeah.
one in that order.
Come over.
And
I have the Blu-rays.
you
Let's
have
watch them. Yeah.
Yeah, don't watch the third or fourth ones. Oh my god.
Yeah, they're
Some
fine.
of the worst.
They're bad. They're bad.
Adequately
They're bad,
as
but
can-
it's
Are they the Wish versions of?
oh,
Very much. Very
nice.
much.
No, actually, the Temu version. Sorry.
But yeah, that slotted in with the Puppet Master. You know, I think they
Puppet
also got
Master.
their. I think the titular Puppet Master got his powers from a djinn as well.
Hello, Puppet Master. Yeah.
Yeah, he got it from like ancient Egypt, and I can imagine it being like, oh my god, the puppets are the only ones that could beat the djinn's magic or the Wishmaster's magic, and they have like a big old puppet fight where it's gonna be like, I bet you wish your puppets were alive, and he's like, they are alive, and they're my family, and we're stopping you.
And that's when Dom Toretto comes in. Did you say family? Yeah, he's a puppet too. Shit. Actually, the one I would love to see is Leprechaun versus Wishmaster, and they're both just like, I bet you wish you were cooler and better. No, I bet you wish you were cooler. You know.
Or maybe they just keep trying to outdo each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's why they're
So
trying to
it's
like outwish each other or something.
Yeah.
No, the Wishmaster and
That's
Puppet
it.
Master would be pretty damn sick, though. I mean, Puppet Master is like, obviously, I haven't seen as much as you, Spooky, probably as far as the Puppet Masters, but those movies fucking go pretty hard. The good ones,
Yeah.
the good ones do.
The good ones.
The second one's the best. Talking about Puppet Master really makes me want to watch that. That second one's so good.
Hell yeah.
That was the last movie we watched together before I moved out. Puppet Masters 2?
Shit.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think so. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, we should do a reunion.
Where he's wrapped up. He's wrapped up.
Oh,
like a little
yeah.
ghoul.
So such a good like design just out of nowhere. Like it's so sick.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, so I've thought up a couple more, actually. This is one I really like. I don't know if... I mean, you probably know one of these movies at the very least, or both of... I don't know if all of y'all heard these movies. But these 3 movies all-star vampires and very much should just be like in the same canon across like America in different parts. So we got Vamp, the 80s movie, Near Dark, the other 80s movie, and Lost Boys. I think that's also an 80s movie. But
Yes.
they're all about vampires, very great, like the vampires being misfits. Lost Boys, I mean, it's like in Santa Cruz, there's this like, you know, like little gang of vampires that just kind of fuck around. Near Dark is great. Like Near Dark and Vamp, highly recommend. Those are probably two of my favorite vampire movies. Near Dark is like a Western vampire movie, but it takes place. Yeah, it's like it takes place in the 80s. Look up like if you go on YouTube, look up Near Dark bar scene, and you'll like that's the scene that will get you. But yeah, it's just like it's the Catherine Bigelow who was dating James Cameron at the time, or married to maybe, and so it has a lot of Aliens cast members. Like it has Vasquez, Bishop, not Hicks. What's his name? The Game Over Man
Hicks.
dude.
Hicks.
I think it's Hudson. Hicks is the
Hicks?
other. Yes, Joker. It says the Joker in it too. But yeah, they're just kind of like a roving
Gabe,
group.
You're being a real joker right now. Oh, it's Joker.
And the thief. So, and then just Vamp is like this really cool movie where this guy kind of goes into like a nightclub, a strip club after dark, and I think they're like passing through town, like him and his friends, and it turns out it's like a vampire like hangout, kind of like Dusk Till Dawn, I guess, but just 80s and in like LA city kind of vibe.
Oh, From Dusk Till Dawn. That's another good.
Yeah,
You could slot
actually, yeah,
that
that
in
too.
with shit. Put that in Evil Dead. Say that
Just
there's,
everything.
yeah, put everything in Evil Dead.
Yeah. If you want to have another one, I think you'll really like, Gib.
Okay. So
Yeah,
I
you
want.
go.
Yeah. So before that, one I thought of. This actually might be. I don't know. Okay, so Dead Alive, the Peter Jackson movie.
Yes.
The rats. The
Oh,
rats
yeah.
that cause the zombieism are known as the Sumatran rat monkey, and I think the island of Sumatra is where King Kong is from.
In the Jackson remake.
In the Jackson remake,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I remember that, yeah.
so
Or there's like
technically,
no, I think it's because it's still Skull Island, but there's a cage that says Sumatran
Sumatran rat monkey. Yeah, from Skull
That's what
Island.
it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they it's like that's the Easter egg there.
And that's wild. That's fun.
This like really goofy like practical rat monster next to CGI'd King Kong, just sticking out like fucking.
God, that'd be way too fucking crazy of a movie. Zombie villagers and a giant King Kong.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, that's a good one. It's King Kong and Dead Alive. I mean, yeah, zombie tribe members would be fucking. I'm just wondering too if that zombie plague could spread to like the T-Rexes and like giant bugs, or I don't know. Just kind of make it fucking more horrific. I can go. I think this is one you'll really like, Gib. I was thinking, like, what if Night of the Creeps? Because that takes place, I think, 50s. I think, right?
No, well, it takes.
Or it
place
starts off in the
50s and the
50s.
80s. Yeah.
80s. Okay, it still works. But let's say, like, after the like incident of Night of the Creeps with the worms, maybe they kind of go into hibernating or so, and then they evolve into Slither, essentially, like the bugs from
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Ah.
Or have you seen Slither?
Spooky. Or me.
Yes, I love that movie. Absolutely.
Even I want to say that the slugs come from like a meteor, so you could even say that like it's the same kind of
Like the blob.
because what? Well, no. So Night of the Creeps opens up with aliens shooting out a fucking an experimental
yeah, I get what
like
you mean.
leech slug.
Yeah.
You could just
right.
have that same thing happen again, but it's
just
Slither.
It's like a
Yeah,
maybe
that's
like
so crazy,
like it's like a evolved version of it or something.
dude. That's
I mean, because they
awesome.
very
That's
much
literally.
yeah, same like
Yeah.
vibe and shit.
Well, I do love that. And there was one more. Speaking of, once you said Night of the Living Dead and Return of the Living Dead. Technically,
Oh yeah,
Return of the Living Dead is like a spiritual sequel.
Yeah.
But
That
the same
series, when I wanted to kind of do YouTube, I kind of wanted to do like a video that goes through every spin-off, because then there's the Italian zombie movies,
Yeah.
which are not really, but just like a name only. And then there's like the sequels to Day of the Dead, and then there's all the sequels to Night of the Return of the Living Dead. So it's just like a fucking hodgepodge. And then there's Flesh Eater, which I think we talked about at the beginning of this podcast too. The fucking
And yeah, Flesh Eater. Also, can't forget to put House into the Evil Dead verse.
Well, it's funny actually. I have one for House was with The Gate. I don't know if you've seen which I guess also could go into Evil Dead verse.
I have seen The Gate. The Gate is so good. The Gate.
I was thinking, what if
so
that
good.
was like, what if like that house with the gate just turned out to be like the neighbor or the same house from House or something like in the future or some shit.
Nice. Well, you know what? I don't think I
We've
got
connected
any more
everything we
brain juice
can.
left over. Yeah, I think
Everything we
kind
can
of-
for Evil Dead.
Yeah, we've all decided that this is the Evil Dead verse.
That's right.
Yeah.
That we live in currently, right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, the Dalai Lama movie also connects to Evil Dead. There we go.
It does. It does. While the Dalai Lama does his sucking on kids' tongues, Evil Dead is
Yeah.
so there's gonna be a scene in the crossover where the Dalai Lama is like, oh, come suck on my tongue, and the camera's like zooming in on his tongue, right? And the audience, we're gonna be like, no, but then it's gonna smash cut to Ash, who's like about to rip out a tongue of like a fucking dead
nice.
or something.
I have one edit.
Yeah.
One edit is I was gonna
That's
say.
perfect. I love that so much.
Can we have it from the perspective like of the throat, so the camera's like shooting from out, so you see the tongue in the foreground, kind of.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah,
a
we'll do that.
Raimi-esque
And
shot.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
The back of the
So it's like
teeth.
let me suck your
Nice.
tongue.
Yeah, tongue cam.
Yeah, basically.
All right. On that note,
Do you have anything you could connect to the Evil Dead verse? Just kidding.
yeah, I think on that note, we should probably get to plugs. Probably get to start plugging away. Spooky. What do you have that you'd like to plug? What do you think our
What do I have?
our listeners should do?
I have a couple. If you guys are in the Bay Area, or even if you guys are in any of the cities on the East Bay, you guys should go to the new Parkway Cinema.
Oh, nice.
Actually, Dala, do you know if that's actually what it's called? I always get it confused. It's like
I think it's New Park. I think it is. Yeah, New Parkway.
If you put New Park in theater, I'm sure you'll see.
You'll see with couches.
It's such a dope fucking movie. They make their own slushies. They have like food.
Alcoholic
They
too.
have a bunch of cool stuff. I feel like you guys, since you play D&D, I think they have a D&D
Yeah.
night there.
I go to the draw
then they have-
sometimes.
Yeah, the draw nights. It just seems like a cool place to take a new person you might be trying to court
And watch
it's a
Coco.
cool and watch Coco. Actually, last month they had like a
Spanish Heritage
they
Month.
had something. No, wait. It was in August actually. It was something called the Blood and Popcorn Film Festival, where
I
it was
heard
a
about
bunch of local California movie makers that they were debuting their films like in theaters, and it was like movies from like the past like 5-6 years, all being played there, and then it was trailers for upcoming Bay Area filmmakers like movies, and they were all horror themed, and it was super
nice.
dope. I went there and I thought of you guys. I went there on a date with my partner, but it was very, very like,
Thinking of us,
wow.
Okay.
Yeah, it was definitely. I was like,
Thinking
man,
that's the whole time.
It's like, man, I wish I had dick in, dick out right now instead.
I wish I could get dick out right now. Both sides, both areas. Let's go. So it was super dope. I would say,
Yeah.
any listener that's like Bay Area based,
Or come visit.
down for a little bit, come visit us. Go watch movies there. It's super dope. They'll have like little like anime showings too of like these, those old ultra-violent 80s, 90s animes. They'll have stuff like that. They'll have They brought. I mean, this is a big thing for me. I'm a big like combat sports fan. They sometimes will show like MMA fights there randomly. I think that's so dope and weird. It's like right up my alley.
Yeah.
They have that there. They have like trivia night. They have karaoke. It's super cool. It's really dope. You know, it's right next to like an Asian supermarket too, which is like that's like my dream date is like going grocery shopping and then going to a movie. Like it's perfect. It's right there.
I would do it the other way around because your
super
milk's
dope.
gonna spoil.
I was gonna say, all right, let's put everything in the car.
We gotta take it with
the
us.
thing with me with grocery shopping, I don't get
Fair.
shit. Unless it's like snacks and it's like, yo, just sneak those bitches.
Oh,
into the
yeah.
movie.
Yeah, taking a cabbage or something
you
like
know,
that. That's
so
fine, but
that's
no, not anything I'm not.
But
Nice.
besides that, what would I like to plug? I'd like to plug, you know, the conflict right now going on in Palestine between Israelis and the Palestinians there. A lot of Western media is like really twisting what's going on because the West, I mean, most, I'll say this kind of like begrudgingly, but most places you would consider a first world country that are European, like in descent, like the UK, Australia, France, America, their media is really twisting like the history of this conflict.
yeah.
And you know, they make a big hoopla about 40 dead babies that there are no photos of, but then ignore 700 kids blasted away in like a day.
Yeah.
And then also ignoring just 7 decades of conflict that where I went to college in Cal State East Bay, there was a pretty big Palestinian population there, as well as different populations from all around the world. East Bay, a very diverse school in the Bay Area and California in general.
Yeah.
But I'd like to plug that in, guys. Do some research on that. A bunch of my friends from my hometown, from our hometown, Dala, like they have Palestinian relatives. You know, there's a big Muslim community. So I mean, keep your eyes out for that. Don't believe what's being peddled on these things. Even politicians like AOC and Gavin Newsom, these people that are supposedly for the people, are really, really condemning Palestinian fighting back. You know, look into that. I mean,
do your research.
Yeah, you know, Hamas, the quote-unquote terrorist organization out of Palestine, does not represent all of Palestinians there, especially the children that are being killed every day.
Yeah.
You know, I'd like to plug that in. I'd also like to plug in schools. Just we're severely underfunded across the board, even charter and OUSD unified school districts. I mean, it's really bad right now. It's funny, or not funny. I'm a music teacher at a few of these Oakland schools, and it's their first music program they've had in like
Years.
either a decade or half a decade.
Yeah.
You know, so the funding there, it's bad. You know, just go to board meetings. Even if you're not from OUSD, even if you ain't from the Bay, go to the board meetings from your
Like
local spots.
school. Yeah,
and,
just do like a like go down to each city almost or something, or each district, and just kind of, you know, jump in whenever you can, support.
Yeah, you know, and like if you don't like to vote for local government or you know, just state, federal, like national government, vote for your school board stuff, man. Like, because parents did it for my school and we got funding, you know, where there's change is gonna happen, and it's, you know, they can't ignore us if we show up with numbers, and especially with parents, right?
Yeah.
Students, if they show up, and if students show up themselves, changes can happen. So I would just like to promote that. You know, go to your school board meetings, man. It's
Oh yeah,
dope.
love it. Snap. I agree.
Hell yeah.
Yes. But yeah, that's all I got for in terms of plugs.
Yeah.
Go eat some tacos, man.
Nice. Get some porn at Rasputin. I'm just kidding.
Get some porn at Rasputin. Also, they were selling Halo Reach for the Xbox 360
What
for
a
like 3 nickels.
what a
at
tone
fucking,
shift. Sorry, just
yeah, at Rasputin's. And I was like, yo, that would have been legit. I remember renting that movie from Blockbuster and spending like $12 renting it, just continuously renting it for $4. Like, it's there for 15 cents, guys. Go buy that shit and go buy porn.
All right,
Go buy that
will
porn.
do. support your local pornist. I'll go next.
That's
I want to plug, just the usual social medias. Kind of just you can follow me at Dala.art. You can follow the No Dumb Idea podcast. You can follow Gibbledang's account on IG. These are all on IG. If you have any questions or comments you want to send, anything goofy, or if you even want to reach out for support, how to support some causes, you can always reach out to our email at nodumbidea@gmail. And I'll just also plug, take care of yourself and hug a loved one. Do it right now. Pause this, go find a loved one, hug them real quick, even if it's an animal or a plant, and then come back and play this.
Yeah, it's tough and trying times, and no dumb idea is very much a leisurely, fun hangout thing that we do. But the Palestinian people are being targeted, and it fucking sucks. And we stand with Palestine. Stand with the Palestinian people.
If you come from any culture with an indigenous background that's been through colonization, you should stand with these people. Because it's the exact same thing, but it's happening in modern times, y'all.
Yeah.
Israel is fucking colonizing Palestine, and it's one of those things where
they're gonna turn that land into a parking lot, y'all.
Yes. Welcome to podcast number 2, where we get really fucking serious.
I guess just some final parting words on a lighthearted note. Titties, balls, farts, jizz, cum.
Nice.
Tripping downstairs.
Not getting kicked in the nuts.
Did I say farts?
You can say it again. Louder fart.
One more time.
A louder fart.
A shart.
A shart, yeah. Alright, guys. Take care.
Bye.